We are welcoming you all to our virtual vintage. And we are going to start with something very exciting. It is a Waterberry button set. And after the video, we will unmute Gregg so she could share that. And let's see. If somebody
The flowers, and if you got these,
can you see and hear the video?
Yes.
Okay, terrific. Here we go.
Here's a set made by the Waterberry Button Company. And the front panel of the box is missing, but it came, the set came in a box with 3 drawers. A number of us have tried to contact the Waterberry Button Company to ask them about the set, and unfortunately, nobody knows anything about it. It seems to me, though, that it was made probably in the 20s and as a promotional piece, and I'll show you what I mean. Here are the dots, and if you look carefully at the number 1 dot, it actually looks a lot like a type of button. Now, what I love about these tiles is that the numbers are visible both ways on the tiles, so it doesn't matter where you are at the table, you can see what the number is. And also the images here are visible both ways at the table. Of course, they couldn't really do that as well with the 1 bam, etc., but still they did a very good job with the design so that they'd be easily recognizable in both directions. And these to me look like toggle buttons that you would see on some overcoats. And here are the cracks, once again, very energetic. These can be confusing to people. These are actually the flowers. And I know we have the winds on them, but these are the flowers. And if you get these flowers and you're east and you get an east flower, in some ways playing the game, you get extra points. These here are the winds. And I love, love, love these dragons. Aren't they cute? The blue one in the middle, of course, is the white dragon. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that.
That could be confusing.
Yeah, I think it's confusing for a lot of people, but I just find it very charming, and I just really love it. I love everything about it, but I just love the fact that they really were making a promotional piece and lots of imagery that could make people think about buttons, even when they weren't necessarily thinking that they were thinking about buttons.
It's interesting because you see that still today. The Singapore Airlines set did something very similar where they're the dots are the engine, the band, the seat map.
The BAMs are the seats, the rows of seats.
Oh, so cute.
Very cute. Oh, and the white dragon, the soap is actually the outline of a window panel.
Yeah,
perfect. Perfect.
We'll have to show that one day.
Yeah.
Great, Gregg, what you said about contacting them. Their website has a timeline of different things they've made, and they mention games, but they don't mention Mahjong.
Right. Yeah, people have really tried very hard to get some information, and they really acted clueless as if they didn't even care about it. So anyway, but it's a fun set.
This is a set made by the Chinese game company, which interestingly is out of Canada. So it's the set came in a leather box, and then there are 4 drawers, actually 5 drawers that lift out of there with a marvelous purple velvet liner. And as you know, with sets, sometimes things are used and sometimes not used. So this set came with all these original counters, which, as far as I can tell, have not been touched. The set also came with marvelous materials included. Here's a type of a scorecard. Here is a booklet, The Game of Mahjong. And just to be on the safe side, we have hand-typed scoring indicators too, which is really fun. I always love when you can find something that the owner has made in order to have the game accessible to everyone. But not to be
not to just rely on her scoring. They also have this particular scoring thing, which is Chad Valley, and this one is in pretty good shape. And Chad Valley was an English company, and this particular scorecard was printed up in English. And this is a way for people to know where to break the wall. When you play the game in several different versions, East gets to break the wall, and East throws the dice, but you don't necessarily know where the wall will be broken. So if East throws a number 9, East will have the wall broken right in front of him or her. And if East throws a number 12, the wall will be broken in front of North. So that's what those are all about. Now you'll see why I really adore these sets. Here are the dots. I think the colors are fabulous. And once again, we've got some unusual designs. The tiles are French ivory, so that's a type of plastic made to mimic ivory. So you've got that. Here are the BAMs, and here are the cracks. These are the flowers, and the 4 on the left are the 4 callings. So you've got the fisherman and the wood gatherer, farmer and the scholar, and then you've got the flowers over there. Here are the dragons, and here are the winds. So hoping you enjoyed that
Phyllis
one.
Mosier, my mom, just asked Greg, do you play with all of your sets?
I like to. That particular set I haven't been able to get any jokers for, so unless I'm playing Hong Kong version or something else, I can't really play with it, but I do like to take it out and talk to it.
Okay, so now, same set. So Shirley, do you want to tell us about yours?
Okay, so this was one of the very first sets that I bought after I became a collector, and I found it in Toronto, which was very telling. And when I found it, I didn't think much of it because it didn't have enough for jokers. But what's really nice about the set that I have is that the winds are in all different colors. Can you just go back?
Yeah, go back. Yeah.
Can I go to, I think we have another page after.
No, that one isn't
Oh, that was
mine.
one, okay,
That one's not mine.
Mhm.
okay.
So enlarge it to see the winds if you can.
Yeah, I know, it's just for some reason today, it is not working with me.
Nope.
Because
Okay,
I have pictures of my set right here in front of me.
okay, here. There are your wins.
Are those me?
Yeah, you sent
Yeah,
this.
the black back. You said
No,
those.
So maybe this is your other set that's back home.
Maybe.
That's my
That-
set.
That's your set.
So why don't you want to show us, do you want to put up to the screen your set that you want to,
Yeah, I'll put it right up.
I
to
do
the
not have
screen.
this set, so this was not my picture.
Can you see that?
Move it a little bit higher,
Okay,
and
just a
then
minute.
the opposite direction. No, right now we see you. We see your face right in the
Okay.
center of the screen. If you put it right in front of your nose, we'll see it.
I can't even see myself. Oh, here I am. Can you see it?
No,
No, okay. Anyway, mine has east, west, south, and north in 4 different colors. The easts are purple, the wests are green, the souths are yellow, and the norths are already black.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was kind of nice about it.
Right.
Also, the counting sticks are all white, but they have colored tips on the ends.
Oh, we'll see that at the end of tonight.
So it has that. Everything was purple background, you know, the velvet case. It also had the small racks at the top. That set might be mine because that is my kitchen counter, as a matter of
That's
fact.
yours.
That's your set, right? That wasn't the set I was thinking of. So I guess I have 2 of those. But this other set that I've got has dipped counting sticks, and it has a wind indicator that's totally different. It's in Chinese, north, south, east, and west, the winds. And it was just a pretty little set with all the nice colored dots. That's all I can tell you about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, very, just so bright.
Yeah, no, that must be the second one,
Yeah, that's the
Learn-
pretty, yeah, it's pretty.
but I'm not home, so I don't know. I can't tell you.
I think Greg, on your website, you call the one sprout BAMs, they do look like pineapples, little
Yeah.
pineapples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then a lot of ephemera came with your your set, Shirley. So it
oh, I
had,
guess so. Yep, that must be all of it. So I
Mhm.
have no idea. I don't even remember it.
Oh,
So
good. She
it's
doesn't
interesting
remember,
that
she has it.
the Chinese roller that they describe is on the cover of their book, of the Chinese sales book. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's the other one. That's the second version.
Mhm.
So the one I was looking at here is a totally different version. Okay, let's get to these. I was on Lincoln Road in Miami, and I went to the last guy, and he had about 5 Mahjong sets. And I took one look, and he had these fabulous caramel colored racks, and they were the flip over kind of racks. And they had interesting coins on the corners.
Before you get to the coins, can you describe what flip over is for people who don't know?
A flip over, when you put your tiles at the top, once you've laid out your tiles, once you've declared Maj, all you do is you take your rack, you sort of give it a bit of a twist, and then the tiles always end up upside down so that you don't have to turn all the tiles upside down by hand. So when the guy showed me these, they were in a mix. I don't know what kind of set they were with, but it was such a mishmash of tiles that I said to him, I don't want those. I said, will you take, and they were in a brand new box or a brand new case. So I said, after a while, I said, well, will you take this amount? He said, no. I said, then will you trade me? Can I have those racks with this box and this set? Can we just trade the racks? And the guy said, sure, as long as you pay me what I asked for. And I said, okay. So I got myself a really nice royal set with a really nice green case. And then after that, I got these fabulous racks, and there are 5 of them in the set, which would look fabulous with somebody's caramel backed,
The jelly bag.
yeah, the jelly back would look incredible with those.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Let's-
Here-
I
here are
don't
the coins
What
again.
also came with them, and most of the coins were half melted, and they do say patent pending on the racks. But the coin, the blue coin was what was there. The green coin I found in another set that I have down here. So I don't know what that all was about. It was just a different style of coin, square, square center, round, but it was just a different layout. So I thought that was really interesting, but I didn't discover that till I got them.
So this is yours again, Shirley.
Okay, so I went on another great lead. Somebody on Facebook Marketplace here in Florida, somebody in Boca had this set, and I decided, okay, let's go it. And she'd reduced the price, and I felt like I was grabbing it away from her. And when I got it home and I put everything in order, I was really pleased because the set is one of those where the numbers are in one color, in the cracks, green, yellow, green, red, and black. But the best part was that the dice had Royal brand on them, and I had never gotten those in any of the other Royal sets that I've ever had. So I was really delighted, and the card in it was 1955, and I think it belonged, from the name I see on the card, it belonged to the lady's mother-in-law
Aw.
or late mother-in-law. So I really felt like I stole the set from her, but I didn't care. Anyway, the last set, I think this is the last one for me. This set is really special. I talked about this set many years ago on the Mahjong Collectors site. There was an ad also on Facebook somewhere that somebody was having, it was about 40 miles from home, and the set was being sold to support a special needs home. So all I did was take a look at the flowers, and I contacted her and I said, I'm coming for this. So the set came with these beautiful bone and bamboo tiles, to which I added extras so it's playable. The box did not come with it. I bought that box in some terrible store in, I think in Florida one year, but it works absolutely perfectly. It came with lots of counters. It came with a scoring sheet. That's the yellow piece underneath the bottom. That's the scoring sheet. It came with these, it came with the dice coffins. It came with what do you call it, buffalo horn wind indicator, so you could take the winds out of their ming and put them into in there. It also came with something, you can see it underneath the dice. It looks like a round top, a spinning top. I have no idea what that is, but it was in there as well. And there's the wind indicator. But the other thing that it came with, and then we'll talk about the tiles themselves. The other thing that it came with, and some of them are out there, and I don't know, is there a separate picture of that? Okay. It came with some metal coins, and it came with these Canada meat rationing tokens. Now, see, it says Canada meat rationing. So obviously somebody used them as coins, betting coins. Meat rationing tokens were issued in 1946-47, a little bit after the war. The reason that they issued tokens is they had coupons up to this date, but a coupon would get you a lot of meat. And if somebody just wanted a little bit, that's when they offered these tokens. So that was the best thing I found in that was the second best thing I found in the set, other than all this great stuff. And I was so thankful when I went out there and I got the, go back, you have to go back for me. Go one back, one more, if you can. The best thing about this set are the beautiful flowers, because you see there are these lovely ladies. This is what sent me on my journey. You have these lovely ladies, and you've got the moon, and you've got, you know, those are the flowers up to, or the bottom ones are the flowers, and the top ones are the seasons. And there are 4 different bunny rabbits in these.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how cute.
It's, you know, the Chinese, I
Left of
think,
the
think
moon,
of
to the bottom by her feet. She's holding it in the number 2, and it's behind
Right.
her in the number 1.
all
Right.
different places, but there were 4 in this set. Usually they come with maybe 2 if you're lucky. Apparently the Chinese thought of, instead of the man in the moon, it was the rabbit in the moon. So that's what was really special. That's what sent me out after this set. So I just love it to pieces. I played with it once. My girls didn't love it. What can I tell you? That's what I have to tell you about that.
That's
Thank you
wonderful.
so much, Shirley. So if anybody wants to jump in, Theresa really loves being a part of these, but couldn't make it tonight. She's away. So she sent us a few sets and some ephemera. So this is her vintage
Wait,
10.
by the way, Debbie Barnett says makes me want to start collecting. I love all the finds inside. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is a vintage 10 flower set. And what's very unique about it is if you look at the white dragon, it's not a typical picture frame or blank tile, but a silver dragon to go along with the green and the red.
I
And
love
then-
those kibitz or jokers. I love those.
Yeah, better. So she said this is a rare 10 flower set. The set was found with only 3 red dragons. It took her years to finally get a correct red dragon that matches the set. It was easier to collect 6 more joker tiles that matched. The set's from the 1940s, made of Catalan, and was sold with 148 tiles, 10 flowers, 2 jokers. It did not come with the number 5 flowers. And then here are close up of the images.
So that's why it's called 10 flowers. There are 10 flowers.
And then here are the
I
kibitz.
love those jokers.
So it's just very, very interesting set.
Yeah, I love the kibitzer.
And now this is also from Theresa. So this gentleman is in high demand. So it was a company, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Yankee Takeout or Takeout. So this is the box. This little box is enlarged here. This on the bottom is a little, I guess you call it like a tab, and that metal man figurine fit into the rack. And they came in blue and red. They're both quite rare. And then she describes the racks. The box broke down. So on the left, you see the folded rack. And then on the right, you see the little metal clip that fit into the two-piece rack.
I remember how excited she was when she found that.
Well, the first that she got of it didn't have it. And someone said to her, oh, don't you love the East Man? And then she was on a hunt for the East Man.
Right.
So Donna, do you want to read? I'll go to the next page. You can read. This is an advertisement from L'Imperial.
So the advert is approximately 14 inches by 20 inches. One of these sets was featured in a previous virtual vintage. I'm like, I remember this. The tiles are ebonite based with an acetate top. 190 francs in today's money equates to about $12,000. Wow. So this is translated. The game of Mahjong from around 30 centuries was created to entertain a Chinese emperor just as the card game was invented to entertain a French king. This game, reserved especially for the emperor, could not be enjoyed by ordinary people without last revolutions of the Celestial Empire. This is really translated. Allowed the people to indulge.
Wait, you skipped one sentence. Without fear of the application.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to let people in the opposite time. Without fear of the application of the death penalty. Later, the Mandarins had the right to play. Finally, the last revolutions of the Celestial Empire allowed the people to indulge in this fascinating game. Of this fact, the knowledge has come to the Western people, and its diffusion is already very great in the United States. This game draws its charm not only from the originality and the diversity, but also from the immense variety of the combinations which take as much from poker, dominoes, and Chinese, I have no idea, the skeet. Maybe Shirley could help. Any French? Like the character of the Chinese people, so full of finesse, Mahjong is simple and complicated at the same time, which allows adults and children to be passionate about it. And like card games, Mahjong is a game that will stay. That's very cool.
So here is, Theresa sent in 2 different versions of betters. This was one from the National Mahjong League when it was at 1819 Broadway. And the inside, it was one of those little things that you take a pencil and then write on and then lift the sheet and it goes away. So the reusable one. And then this is very hard to see. I mean, she tried to get a really good picture of it, but it says Mahjong spelled with an S. And then it says silent partner for Chinese tile game. And it was very cute. You wrote the names down and then the little arrow just slid and you just moved it into the space of who you were betting on.
Yeah, Gregg is right. It was called a magic slate.
Yeah.
And then
And then this is a tablecloth by T.R. Goodley and Son. And what's interesting is Theresa really didn't have that much information on it. And Donna and Theresa and I all laugh about being detectives now on the internet with things. So I was looking it up and actually, first I'll show you close-up pictures. Here's the tablecloth. The tablecloth had different rules. And the center, this beautiful dragon. And then winning hands. What was interesting is there was actually pictures of them manufacturing the printing department online. And another page, this was the cutting room. So it's amazing what you could find on the internet. The coding room, sorry.
Coding, yeah.
So now we are going across the pond and we have Paul to tell us about his set.
Let me get Paul in here if we can. Oh, let me unmute him. Okay. Hello,
Okay.
Paul. Hello.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, we'll go with this. This is, I know there was a sort of request for ephemera but I don't have a lot of that. So anyway, here is a nice set. It's from Cowan, I'll tell you who it's from in a second. Its set is from
Look at this.
Cowan,
Wow.
Cowan, de Groot and Ross in London, at least according to the very skinny manual. It's got a lovely one bamboo,
Mhm.
which sort of stands out. Sort of a common set, comes in a brocade box. And this one arrived, funny enough, I don't know, can you see my screen?
Yeah,
This
I
one
can see you,
arrived
yeah.
as well as the manual.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as well as the manual, which only has actually one sort of foolscap page in it and some handwritten notes, which is usual. But also, of course, a pristine one of these, which we just seen earlier, the scorecard from Charles Valley. The set is nice. It looks like this. And
Can you hold it up a teeny bit higher?
Yeah, I'm worried about this.
Or maybe tilt
Wait. Yeah, there you go. It comes and it looks like that.
Yep.
So the tiles are wood, right?
Tiles are just bamboo,
Okay.
plain bamboo, nice carving, flowers, normal flowers, symbols of the professions and flowers themselves. The bambs, I did the white dragons, as you can probably sort of tell, but I was just looking at it and said I had to practice, and bamboo is awkward to do, so I had to go with it, and there you go. That's it.
And Paul, the different professions that we see over and over again, which are the ones that are what's featured here?
Let me see it. And tile number 1, you can see there is the musical instrument. Tile 2 is the chess. Tile 3 is calligraphy, and tile 4 there at the bottom is painting. As you can sort of see that if you get used to looking at the images.
Yep.
Very nice.
Okay, this set is here. This set, a lovely set, got ages ago, comes in an absolutely unstunning box. As you can plainly see, it's actually excellent wood and everything in the box, but it's just undecorated. Came plain like that. Remember when I was buying it, I caught the glimpse, and I mean, I caught the glimpse of that tile.
Yeah, wow.
That's just about, and in the bottom of the box, it's about all I could see of it. Everything else about the set, you couldn't really tell. Very badly photographed, very badly everything. And I seen that tile and I said, it must be something. If you've got one good tile, you can take a chance for the rest. So it comes, it looks like what you see in front of you there. It's the most perfect bone. It's so close to ceramic or ivory. I have one other set like this that I just picked up a few weeks ago. Bone is curved, which is supposedly to preserve the image that's on the tiles. So when the tiles are being shuffled and that sort of thing, that the image isn't worn away. What you're looking at there on the screen, if you look at those 4 tiles, you can see the guy going backwards on his horse. You can see one of the rabbits we were talking about earlier that lives on the moon. The second tile there, the sinogram is moon. And can't remember the girl's name, but that's her rabbit. The 4 tiles there, I don't think that's in this correct order there, but those 4 tiles are love is in the air, or you could put some slightly different translation on it. Basically sort of means that. The 4 tiles, this 1 circle tiles mean to chat pleasurably together. I have it written down here somewhere. Thanks to Ray, of course. Yeah, to chat pleasurably during leisure time.
Look at the one with the bird band.
That's the 1 circles. It's hard to get a translation on that. You can see it's got the lovely 2-tailed birdie as a 1 bam, which is really like it's set that has everything except for 4 extra tiles to make it 152. But a beautiful set. not 100% as to where these are coming from. I think I've seen one on myuntiledset.co.uk, and I have two of them, but I've never really seen them other than that as to, exactly why there's so few of them and why they do the curved bone thing and how they get the bone so perfect in it.
Right.
Because the bone is really, really absolutely porcelain.
Wow.
The next one, bone.
Well,
and
Debbie,
vintage.
by the way, Debbie says very cool set. Greg said the bird bam is fabulous. Phyllis says absolutely beautiful. And Jeanette says the one dots are so unusual.
Yeah, I don't know, really good. The whole circle, if you look at the circle tiles on them, if you want to flick back to it, you'll see there's no circle around the circles. You see that an odd time on some of the sets. If you go to any of the normal circles, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5.
go to the dots, Dara.
Yeah,
If you
the
can.
dots. Sorry.
In America, no, we call them dots, but
Oh, in America, everything
usually
is
circles,
We know
yeah.
that. We know that.
yeah.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see them there. There's no circle around them, which is sort of pretty unusual. Nice set.
Mhm.
Next set, more sort of normal, I suppose, is a bone and bamboo set. It's in what's called a Korean box or Korean style box. The trays themselves are painted red inside. The brass work on the box is really, really good. You see an odd one of these for sale on YouTube or on YouTube, on eBay.
Mhm.
Looks like that in reality. It's absolutely fabulous. Weighs a ton, heavy, good wood. Perfectly done to, I don't know, you probably can't see it, but if you look at this plate of wood here and the
You
wood
could raise it up a teeny bit more.
yeah, you can see the grain in the wood comes through,
Mhm.
and it's cut from the one piece of wood. Really nice touch. Anyway, their tiles, their box, they have the indices like we were looking on earlier. Was it one of Shirley's sets where you look, if you look at them, they see the green cracks is the thing about this set, I suppose. Green
Yep.
cracks seem to indicate high quality. Tony was saying previously about at some stage that maybe it indicates that they all came from the same shop, but seemingly once you see the green cracks, that's the way to go. These ones have very unusual, somebody at some stage inked indices onto them.
Right.
Makes them look a bit cute. They're sort of following the playing card model.
Right.
I haven't taken them off. They're inked on, and I'm not really keen on taking them off, even though you could if you wanted to, possibly, sand and polish and all that sort of stuff. Lovely tiles, very distinctive set. If you look at the red dragon there that you're looking at, that you see the way it's carved. It's I haven't seen a red dragon like that. That's carved in that style. I think the north is a bit different as well. There's a few of the cracks themselves, the way the what do you call it, the numeric character. See the bottom character in the cracks, the way it's carved is different as well. The guy who inked the set, however, if you do look at the flower tiles, a bit unusual, the flower tiles, but he's managed to put 1, 2, 3, 4 and east, south, west, north, or whatever on in the wrong order on the tiles. You will notice, yes, some of the symbolism on the tiles because you're all naturally drawn to it with your eyes. The west tile there is exceptionally recognizable image.
Is the west an anchor? Is that, what is the west tile?
What do you think it is?
Dara.
There you go. Right, we're in agreement.
No, it looks like an anchor.
I think you need to put mine together a little bit.
It's meant to be some rare plant, I think. But,
this is a PG show, please.
Yeah.
Greg said the wands are part of the history of the set.
Pardon?
Greg said the wand, you were talking about the green paint are the cracks. She said they're part of the history of the set.
Yeah.
Shirley
And,
loves the flowers. And then Gregg
the-
says fungus.
The,
So-
the flowers are unusual as well. The writing on them, you can see actually the one and the wait a sec, I have it somewhere here, wherever it is. This is again thanks to Ray, because Ray is
It translates, yeah, a lot of stuff.
I'd be looking up Google forever trying to figure them out sometimes. But anyway, the top row is the idiom to keep on good terms with everyone. And the bottom row is all four oceans are peaceful. And just a happy message. There you go.
Very
And
nice.
Greg, aren't frogs in a lot of the sets? Toads or frogs?
Did I commented on that somewhere recently?
Well, Gregg says the West is fungus. The
Yes.
added numbers are part of the story of the set.
That's correct, yeah. And the toad frog thing, it's the three-legged frog is usually called the three-legged frog. But if you look at Wikipedia on the subject, you'll see that he is actually in some of the legends a toad. He's the money toad.
Right.
Or the
Right.
frog.
So we got Gregg back. So you said that's a fungus?
Yes, I think it is a fungus. I have a set that I can show, which is a fungus also. I mean, it is very funny. It's a funny fungus,
Yes,
but
funny fungus.
All right, thank you. Wait, hold on. Now we
Thank
have
you,
another
Paul. That was
set
great.
from Paul. And here is a set from Paul, a bone and bamboo set in. Wait, oh no, this is the same one, more a close up.
Yes,
You wanted to show the wood grain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can see
pretty.
the wood very clearly there. It's beautiful construction.
Yeah, and then this was your last set, the 1918.
Oh,
Mao.
forgot. Yeah, lovely set.
Yes.
It's dated 1918. I stuck it in this box because it's a really old box. But beautiful, really, really nice set. It's got the manual 1918, as you can see in the screen in front of you. It's signed 1918 as well. Tony provided some of the story that may or may not go with it, but seemingly it's around the time of the end of the war, First War, when the Germans were over there and they were being sent out or interned or whatever you do with Germans in 1918 in Japan and China. The set itself, you see the pictures of it there, really unusual bands, which are German styled. Again, like the set previously, it's got the twin-tailed bird, the phoenix, carrying a blossom in its mouth. If you look at them pictures there, you can see the way the eyes of the bird. If you look at the four eyes of the four birds, you will see they do look a bit sort of glitchy.
Yeah, they're all different.
They're not anymore. They got a makeover, so they did, and they got improved slightly. Don't know whether you can see that or not, but just went over the set lightly because it just, I don't know, just couldn't stop myself from taking up the chisel and fixing the poor thing's eyes. Surgery. Lovely set. If you go to the cracks.
No, I think that's all we
Just
had.
wait, so Gregg said the phoenix with the peony, king of birds with king of flowers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and Lisa wants to know, what was the signature on the booklet,
I know.
on the manual?
Oh, you try reading that. It says Shanghai in May, I think, 1918.
G. Barrow?
Or Barwald or something. yeah.
Barwell, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to read it. I would lost read signatures. We do this at work all the time, trying to figure out unauthorized stuff, and people try to hide, I think, instead
You
of
know,
saying-
for this set, we just have your picture of the BAMs. We don't have the cracks for this one.
So
Yeah.
I can maybe add some more to this. I believe this set was bought in Germany. Yeah, Paul?
I bought that set from Germany. And the guy I bought it from, he didn't really know about it, but he claimed it was his great whatever grandfather, and he had been over there at the time and brought it back. But like, it's very anecdotal.
Yeah, so he had another set as well, with as your set has, which depicts the prison camp or the naval German naval dockyard in the Shandong Peninsula. I tried to buy this set off the guy, but he wouldn't budge from his ridiculous price, and and then I think I badgered him so much that he dropped it off the face of the earth. So yeah. But it was very interesting that both sets were both had the same flowers. So I've got photographs of them. So you know, it's there as a record.
You know, if there's any way, Tony, if you don't mind, if you could send them to us, we could share the photographs in Mahjong Community another time.
Yeah, yeah, will do. Yeah.
Okay, and now, thank you so much, Paul.
Hey, thank
Now
you.
we're
Thank
switching
you.
over, and thank you for the bird. Your bird was fun to listen to. And now we're switching over to Karen. Is Karen unmuted?
Oh, let me see. I have to mute her. We've had problems with people, so I'm controlling it.
Well, just so everyone knows, the reason we do this is because, one, a lot of times there's just background noise, but also if you've ever heard the expression Zoom bomb, I know Gregg remembers when we were on one of our first ones and all of a sudden we heard music that the fungus.
Howard Stern, yeah. Howard Stern.
So
Yeah.
Donna was extremely quick to mute the person. They unmuted themselves. She kicked them out. They came back. So it was interesting. It was I don't know why somebody would choose to Zoom bomb a Mahjong event, but they did.
So we have Karen.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So
Hi.
Karen, you want to tell us about these?
Well, when the request went out for ephemera, I thought, when I first started collecting, I would take my favorite tiles and put them with my favorite racks, and then trying to match the paperwork, I thought, well, I should keep the paperwork with the tiles, but then maybe I should organize the paperwork, and it became just a mess. So I decided to keep the cards, the playing cards, the National Mahjong Leagues and others in a separate place. So when the request came out for some ephemera, I just went through my handy little thing, and I enjoyed reading and looking at these sets. The National Mahjong League was from 1941. I think it's the earliest I've seen. It's a simple tri-layer card. But I think they had, I don't remember how many flowers they had at that point. And then the other card was made by Anita Rothstein. That's what it says on the back of the card. I don't know if you can see.
It actually almost looks like it says the font for fortune offs. I know my mom's.
It
My
It's
mom
just that-
worked there when she was younger. I wonder if she'd recognize the logo.
Well, not to age myself, but 73 was when I graduated high school, so I like that number. So, and it sold for 69 cents.
When you mentioned about flowers, we've shared it before, but if anyone's curious, on Sloperama, there is a chart of every year and the number of flowers and jokers and when it's standard 8 and 8 and all that. I mean, there was a time where there were 12, 20 flowers, and the hands are hysterical to look at when you see how many flowers there were.
Now, that's 10 cents on the Mahjong League card?
The 41 said 10 cents.
Yeah, he goes back to 1937. There was 8 flowers.
Yep.
37 through 42. So in the red league, there must have had 8 flowers. But it's if nobody's ever seen an early National Mahjong League card, it's worth looking at because the East gets paid double if the East Mahjongs before anybody else. And so the scorecard is just a little different and the hands are fascinating. And at one point they started out with, everybody had a joker, and other times nobody had jokers. And somebody started out with 2 flowers, and it was just a good way of watching the evolution of the league cards.
So Dara, your
So-
mom says it looks like fortune offs.
That's funny.
And in the chat, I shared the chart that Tom Sloper has. Of how
Okay.
many flowers were in what year, when Jokers came about. So you can click on that if you're interested.
Yeah, this is the back of the 1973 card. At the very bottom, it shows the American enterprise created by Anita Rothstein. So whatever.
Mhm.
Another little fun set is the booklet you're looking at now. It comes out of Gibson in London and 1936 edition. And if you read through the pages, they talk about where they're playing with the domino tiles. And then you read through hints and whatnot. And some of the hints, I want to read you one hint that cracks me up. And it says, at all costs, play quickly, as nothing is so wearisome to Mahjong players as to have to wait some time for people to make up their minds. And this is the best part. And one is just as likely to make a bad decision after 2 minutes thought as after 2 seconds. So that cracked me up.
Well, we
There's
did have Tom Sloper on one time as a guest, and Donna and I, one of the questions was, what can speed up a slow player? And there might be a disagreement of this, but his answer was nothing.
Right.
Pretty much. So it was just a fun little booklet made before all of my games.
Very cool.
Which one's next? Oh, this is the fun one.
This
This is probably my,
I was drooling over this one.
this is a little booklet. It's a catalog from the Mahjong Sales Company from 1922 out of San Francisco. And they each 2 pages talks about one set. And their sets range in price from $10 in 1922 to $400.
Wow.
And the $400 set is solid ivory.
So I just did the math for you when you sent it in for us. So the $22.50 set that you showed, that one is equivalent to purchasing power of $370.
Wow.
So
Yeah, they have some that have the sliding boxes as well as the pull-out drawers. And I don't even know what set this little booklet came in. I just thought, well, that's the coolest little thing I've ever seen.
that's a great surprise. So
Yeah,
the
I really liked it.
$50 ones would be equivalent, both of these are equivalent to $2,469 in purchasing power today.
Wow.
Yeah, $150 was a lot of money in 1922.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I'm going the wrong way. And
That's
then
right.
this one was styled XXX Deluxe.
Yes, this is the solid ivory and bamboo, or sorry, genuine ivory and bamboo.
Mhm.
So that's, 6,500.
6,000. Right.
now.
Wow. Mhm.
And then it had a 2-page poem at the end, which I know you put on the website for anybody who wants to read the poems.
Mhm.
Here,
And it's
we're-
just a-
yeah, we put it, if you go to Facebook Mahjong Community, we put it as a tease for tonight's event, but just in case that was difficult to read, we typed it up. I just loved the very last line about being robbed of your sleep because you're so obsessed with the game.
Yeah, these people have some great senses of humor too. It's like, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, these are the magazines. Everybody's seen this woman, but she actually came on the cover of the 1924 Saturday Evening Post. So I have the full magazine, and then I have another one that's just the cover. And interesting enough, this episode or this issue of the magazine doesn't discuss Mahjong at all. She's just on the cover.
Oh, that's so
I've
fun.
seen
It was
other
clickbait.
magazines that talk about Mahjong. I just got another one today, a different magazine.
Oh, by the way, Gregg reminded us that we wrote on Facebook November 8th, 2019 about Anita Rothstein.
Oh, really?
So we'll have to go back and reshare that.
Thank you, Gregg. So this is another thing that Karen shared with us.
These came out of the Modern Priscilla magazines. And they had for maybe 3 or 4 years, every month they had things related to Mahjong. You could either make them as party gifts or snacks for your friends, or you could create tablecloths. And it was just fun little paper things. And just here's how to make a handkerchief for your Mahjong table or for your friends as gifts.
Wow.
And it's just fun stuff.
Wonderful.
It's funny,
So,
1920 was modern.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to Modern Priscilla, you can find these magazines very affordable, like $4, $6. It's pretty easy.
Mhm.
Thank you, Karen. Those are
That was
beautiful.
fun. That's very unusual stuff that you never see.
Yep. So Donna, you are up.
Oh, this is one of mine. It's just the teeniest tiny miniature Mahjong set I've ever seen. So I tried to put, it's the one on the left. I tried to put a regular box to the right to, you can see.
No, this is not. The
No,
way I
that's
did
not it. That's
the same
bigger
one. Yeah.
size. But look at the size of the
Still the
tile.
excitement.
But I love them. They're teeny tiny. I love the sprout bam. That's my favorite. And you could see the flowers. There's for comparison. You could see how small the box is next to a regular size box. I just love it. And then, so I put a sprout bam from the teeny set next to a regular size sprout bam. And you could see the difference. And then there's a little dragon next to a dime, just so you could see how small the set is. It's really
Yep.
sweet.
Perfect comparison.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do that with our jumbo dice.
Yeah. So while Dara was trying to fix everything, I was trying to entertain everybody. But this was what I was talking about. I bought a set, and it was a woman's mother-in-law who I didn't think she liked her very much. But anyway, she said, I don't play. I don't want to play. So I bought it. Did not. And she threw this in when I got it. She said, I don't need this. So you might as well have it. So it's a card coin case. It says Mahjong Maven. But what I love is on the other side, it was a political advertisement for Irving Schlossberg.
Who's still part of
Still-
politics.
Yeah, he's still in office. There was a paid political advertisement by his campaign. And I can just imagine him giving these out, during his campaign. I've never seen that before.
Funny.
But yeah, Irv is still around, This was another one where I bought a set and this Mahjong score pad was in it. And I love the poem on it too, but they've never been used. And I just thought it was a lot of fun. We've seen another score pad tonight, but I just thought it was fun and never touched.
Yep. Okay, so now this is me. That's so weird. There was words here, but it disappeared.
Wait, let me, Debbie Barnett says, I'm obsessed with tiny sets. Toby said, I'm in love. Yeah, really tiny.
So this was a really funny find. I just thought that it was an inexpensive hardwood set. I thought it would be cute as a travel set. And I opened it up, and inside was a brochure or a little flyer that I guess they must have taken this on a cruise with them or a tournament with them. So it's a Mahjong cruise in 1993, sail from beautiful Fort Lauderdale to San Juan. And the funny thing is, we messaged, Donna and I were talking to Gladys, and this was her company that she ran for 24 years with the Mahjong League. And it was an official National Mahjong League cruise.
Wow.
Yeah.
$940. It's a lot. 1993. No.
Yeah. So this is something, I know Toby, if you've been on our virtual vintages before, Toby has shared her ash racks. And if you haven't been on them before and you want a funny laugh, you could watch the replay. I don't know when she's going to start doing them again, but Tony has, is it
Toby.
called Mahjong? Toby had, where everybody has to have a safe ride home, and she gets sets of ash racks put out. So I thought, what about an ash rack would need Mahjong matches? So this was a find. It says C. Harry Munzer, 808 Nostrand Avenue, Brooklyn. And what's interesting is I looked up the address. Here's just more pictures of it. But I looked up the address, and it's now Repair the World, which I just Googled quickly, is a Jewish organization that tries to help different individuals. So I thought that was interesting that it went from a Mahjong store to that. But
You have to go back and show them the inside. Yeah.
so this was so interesting that you showed the 1941 card today, Karen. If you brought this to Harry, you got a free 1940 card, which was 10 cents.
Whoa.
So a matchbox that gave back. So like Donna, it's so funny you didn't realize that I was showing this, that you said about Priscilla was modern. So this, our name is Modern Mahjong. I came across this book. I thought it was so funny that in 1938, It was a modern Mahjong book. This was not written by us. And the funny part is, I just think that a lot of writers about Mahjong have a lot of sarcasm in them in some of the things that they wrote. So just the first sentence was, modern Mahjong has reached a crisis in the eyes of radical, conservative, and irresolute players. The radical player feels keenly that conservative Mahjong is a slow game. The conservative player feels just as keenly that radical Mahjong is nerve-wracking. The irresolute is swayed one way and then the other. So it's just so funny how they describe the game. And this was the year after the Mahjong League was found, this book came out. This is something I had seen, and I just think is such a stunning box. It's the Vogue Mahjong score pad from Buzza Company, and it was from Minneapolis. And it amazes me when you find these things, like Donna was saying, perfect condition from then and never used. So, and it came with a little pencil attached. So this is a set that reminds me, Karen, of your Tutti Frutti a little bit.
Huh?
So it is white, pink, and I'm not sure if it's periwinkle, lavender, purple. I chose periwinkle. I love the typed notes, like kind of mimeographed for everybody of scoring. And then it's white, pink, and the periwinkle layer. Yeah. And I was so curious if there was going to be enough tiles, because there was no way I was going to find spares for this. But luckily it's a Singapore set, so it has plenty of flowers and capture tiles.
Yeah.
So I love the little sprout bam flower hiding in there. Yeah. And then here are the similar professions that Paul told us about. Yeah. And then we have, for those of you not familiar with capture, there's a form of play where there's different animals, usually animals or the fishermen and the fish, or the, so here's a cock and a caterpillar and a cat and mouse.
It's a centipede.
Centipede.
Yeah.
And a cat and mouse. Mm-hmm. And I just love the detail on the soap.
Yeah.
The dice even like tie-dyed. And it's very pastel colors. And then the box is just a mint green, mint matching
beautiful
east wind indicator. So that's what they look like.
Mm-hmm. They look little, so they're Singapore, they're smaller, right?
No, they're regular size. Look pretty standard. So there's all the flower, but I was just so thrilled that it came with so many flowers that I think what I might do is just put a little peelable, removable J on some of the flowers to make them the jokers. Right. So I don't have to cover up how beautiful the tiles are. So earlier today, I think it was Shirley. This is great. We have so many segues. Shirley mentioned her counters that were dipped. So now we have Tony to talk about these counters.
Let me make sure we have Tony unmuted. Oh, no, we gotta. Okay.
Tony awake.
Tony, is he sleeping?
I'd have fallen asleep.
No,
here he is. He's here.
No, I was muted. Yeah, I muted myself because the fire was.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't want it to interfere. Anyway, so I'm. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I found these Mahjong counters. Yeah, and they're from the same company as.
In Montreal, Shirley.
As Gregg's set.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says International Game, but it's the Chinese Games Company in Montreal. Yeah. Again. Celluloid tiles, but dipped with different colors on the corners. But absolutely pristine, you know, apart from the little bit of spotting. Absolutely great. I was very fortunate to get these.
Beautiful.
So we have a comment. Jeanette says, interesting, 2 N's instead of 2 G's in Mahjong. Mahjong. Yeah.
Oh, it's JOHN.
Mm-hmm.
G.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rather than JONGG.
Mhm.
Yeah, and yeah, these are from Chad Valley, and they're cowrie shells
Mhm.
used in card games, and of course it could be used in mahjong counting. But they're tiny, tiny little things. They're lovely, and these were used in Africa for as money.
Very pretty.
Yeah, yeah. This is there's some debate on whether this is a peroxloid or some other manufacturer, but it's a yeah, pyrographed box. It's done with a you know, hot iron, and the whole of the box is covered in this wickerwork
Mhm.
pyrograph pattern. But and inside it is just a bog standard set of peroxloid style, but they're just wooden tiles. But what came with it was this wonderful wind indicator. Now, I'm not sure if it came with the set or it's been added by somebody subsequently, but it's translucent uranium celluloid, and he's very funky. I've never seen another one like this.
Mhm.
Fabulous.
I love that. And the arm moves. You could see the little
Yeah.
screw on the.
So it's just to say, yeah, what's round.
Right.
So did you know that was in there when you bought the set, the box?
Yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, this is from Yamanaka company. They were a famous art dealer in the US and London and Paris. And he was a businessman in Japan. And anyway, during the war, everything was shut down, and he basically lost everything. You know, all his assets and everything in America and London. I don't know if they were frozen or what, but basically he had to decamp. Yeah, but this is a Mahjong scoring card from a Yamanaka set. Yeah, and here we have yeah, German Peng Chao set. This Peng Chao has nothing to do with the Har Peng Chao.
Right.
It's definitely German made, and yeah, and these are the wooden tiles, impressed wood in different colors, really nicely done.
Yeah.
You know, the wood I think is sycamore. I don't think it's beech.
Nice.
But it's by the by anyway. But yeah, and this the swooping sparrow is the Peng Chao on the Peng Chao logo. Yeah,
too bad.
And with this came these this wonderful set of oh, here's the flowers and the dragons, and you can see these funky dragons. Yeah, and it came with this yeah, Mahjong booklet, handwritten scores. This is for all the various special hands that you could get, and really nicely done. And the funky interpretation of the winds, especially.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You drew all the tiles. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Really nice. Done in crayon and pencil.
In such good condition.
Yeah.
Amazing. Why, Toby Sock says, why are some in English?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. Maybe it's just they didn't have a
Translation. Yeah,
a decent translation of that, you
Right.
know.
right.
Yeah.
Rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake, I know.
Snake and rattlesnake. That's so funny.
Yeah. So there's a ringle snake and a rattlesnake. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at these, yeah.
Oh yeah, here's an American Peng Chau scorer meter, and this what's unusual with this is the packet that it came in, you know. So it's most of these are usually wrecked when you get them. I've got another couple that are in very bad order, but this one's pretty good, and to have the cover slip as well is really good. Yeah.
Thank you very
So
much.
yeah, we don't see these in the UK. I guess they're pretty common in the US.
Well, I want to apologize. Usually that goes much smoother in the beginning, but I am glad thank you for sticking it out and staying with us and getting this screen up. So thank you for everybody that takes the time to photograph your sets, your ephemera, your accessories. We are having another tournament in February. We hope you all enjoyed this Modern Mahjong sneak peek into these sets. Our dice, a little commercial for us, our dice we designed to complement the beauty of the sets, because we really, as Gregg's book says, the art of the tiles. There's just such stunning art in these tiles. And our replica and robe set, we paint inspired by these replica, these vintage sets. Donna, you want to tell about our card orders?
Yeah, so I think Dara said in the beginning, we're collectors for the National Mahjong League. We're taking pre-orders now through almost the end of January for the 2022 card. And $2.50 from the sale of each card is donated by the National Mahjong League to the Alzheimer's Association. So it's a win-win. You're going to order the card anyway. You order from us, and then the money is donated to the Alzheimer's. As Dara said, the Mahjong League was very generous last year and donated, sent us a check for $7,000, which goes right to the Alzheimer's Association. So we are taking orders right now.
So for Tony, we don't have a date for our next one, but we will inform everybody. If you don't get emails from us, you could sign up on modernmahjong.com and we will inform you, or you could go to our website, and on the events page, we list all the upcoming events that we are having.
Super.
So now I can actually, wait, I can stop. Stop.
It's fun.
Yeah, really interesting stuff.
Shirley, we got to play with Shirley with our replica set. Thank you. She said it's a joy to play with. So Lisa, that's funny. Lisa said it's so interesting to see what these experts find so easily. And that's a great observation, but I think it looks easy, but there's a lot of hard work in finding it. And there's also a huge amount of work and a lot of expense of finding these stunning sets and not being able to play with them.
Right.
So I'm not saying don't get into vintage collecting. It's wonderful. I love it. It's a wonderful hobby. Donna loves collecting, but be sure that you are dealing with someone that's reputable. Don't spend money if someone says it's complete just because they think it's complete. It could mean that they took a 2-bam from some other set and just stuck it in it, and complete to them might not be the same style that you play. So I don't know if Donna, you want to.
I learned that the hard way. It'll say 152 tiles ready for National Mahjong League play, and then the tiles don't match, and then you have flowers from some other set, and it's just very disappointing. And then you have to go to the effort of finding tiles that match.
So we're not saying don't go on eBay. I mean, there are some very reputable sellers. There's also a lot of fraud going on lately on eBay. Never go to any other link. For those of you, Teresa's not on tonight, but she sold a stunning, highly carved bamboo set for over, I think, $6,000 or.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And it has been relisted around 15 times, and they are relisting it in real accounts. But then like they're hijacking real accounts and saying, don't bid here, send us an email. So she's been in contact with eBay, but it still keeps popping up. So, so just
especially during the holiday season, they're saying be very aware of a lot of scams. The one today they were talking about is pictures of dogs, or send in pictures of your dogs and click here, and then they get into your phone. QR codes are now also being, we have viruses in them. So if you kind of put a QR code on something, it'll lead you, and they'll get everything in your phone. So just be careful, is what we're saying. Yeah,
Right.
for the holidays. Yeah. So, but a lot of times also people say, how do you find the ephemera? It just sometimes shows up. It's just sometimes it's in there and you don't know.
Right.
So sometimes you get lucky. So, but
if anyone has any questions, they could raise their hand or they could type in
I can unmute everybody if anyone wants to say goodbye or good night.
I gotta go. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you,
Okay.
everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Tony, for staying up late, and Paul.
Okay, no bother. Okay.
And Toby. We're glad to see you, Toby.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm so happy to see everyone.
I know. Shirley,
I
Christine.
promise I'll join next time.
Okay.
Oh, no, you were here. That's joining.
Christine is here. We know it's a lot of work to pull out your sets and photograph things, and we know. So and put everything back. So we appreciate it.
So somebody asked where the recording will be on YouTube. Modern Mahjong.
Yep.
So if you enjoyed seeing this was a little bit different than our usual. We did a lot more papers and accessories, but if you do enjoy seeing typical vintage sets, if you go to our YouTube channel, we have Zoom events as a playlist, and you could see the past ones. And it's just incredible seeing the variety of what's out there. And every time you think you're identifying a set, and then you look at a certain tile and you're like, oh no, that's this set. So it's amazing what's out there.
Right. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Have a Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. This was fun.
Yeah,
Bye,
happy
Shirley.
Thanksgiving, everybody.